We are back. No awards addicts. Tristan, Kyle, Critics' Choice. The time that we all crave. It's been a long time because of the LA fires. It's been delayed.
Yeah,
I know
it
it's
has
been wild. Yeah, I guess like now it's like the voting has been done since like January 10th, and now it's almost February 10th. So it's almost been like a month since they finished voting,
Yeah,
and we're finally going to see the winners. So it's finally time to do this.
yeah, I'm excited.
Are you excited? Are you excited? I was like, okay, can I tell you a funny story? Because I was like thinking
Sure.
to myself, why didn't they do it on Sunday? Because like, I was looking at the awards calendars, like it's wide open, and then I realized it's Super Bowl Sunday. That's
Yeah,
why. I'm like, I don't watch football, so I was like, damn. That's why I'm just like, there's no semblance of me in like the public consciousness. So it's like I only care about the Oscars. I don't care about football. So I'm like,
same. Yeah, I would never have known.
yeah. Well, should we start for the original song
Yeah, let's do it.
for Critics' Choice?
I will. That's a good segue. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Let me just pull up the Gold Derby, of course.
Okay. Well, I'll say a
Actually,
nominees in the
no.
meantime.
I'll pull up Awards Expert because we're promoting Brother Bro on this.
Are we?
Sure, why not?
I guess he's our colleague. He's our fellow Oscar.
He's a sponsor.
Yeah. Sponsored by the Oscar expert and Brother Bro.
Yes.
Yeah. So Wild Robot for Kiss the Sky, which is not
Nice.
nominated the Oscars. Which is it's good to keep in mind that voting took place long before that. Beautiful That Way from The Last Showgirl. El Mal, Mi Camino, Compress Repress, and what am I forgetting? Will and Harper Go West from Will and Harper. The Kristen Wiig song. What are we thinking? I actually feel like I'm going to go against popular opinion here.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so I think it's important to mention. I'm sure this is something we'll talk about a lot during this episode and throughout the rest of award season. But the Critics' Choice voting closed before everything kind of went crazy for Amelia Perez. So,
did we just say this that it closed on like the 10th of January?
I think, yeah, it closed a lot earlier. So.
This is long before the tweet, so I think that should be self-explanatory, no?
Yeah, but I mean, it's a good way to bring up the.
Should we give our take?
I think we should. Yeah.
There's no real take to have other than like these are
horrified.
Insane. These are insane. What in the world?
I don't even know what to say about this. It's kind of unprecedented. This season in general, the amount of controversy that we've had against Amelia Perez, but also against a lot of these other movies. And I think a lot of the other controversies are like non-starters. But the fact that we have Amelia Perez just constantly spewing controversy every day, and then you have like the AI thing with the Brutalist and like whatever with the
intimacy coordinators with Nora.
Yeah, exactly. It's
crazy. Everything has a mark against it except for one movie. Except for one movie. It's Conclave. It's been Conclave all along. I'm
kind of rooting for it at this point. That would be cool. If it wins by the way that like the movie, where
in the like the plot of the movie where like it just slowly keeps growing. Carlos, the Carlos character, the person played by Carlos, starts off with 2 votes at the start of the movie. By the end, we're spoiling Conclave. Sorry, he wins. And it's it's legendary. So I think that's the truth. I think that's how it's going to go this season. And I've been a Conclave truther since like early November. I've been on the Conclave train. The thing is, this week is when my bubble will either burst or will be sustained, because when we get to PGA, we're going to talk about PGA later this episode. If it doesn't win PGA, it's done. It's not happening. That's Conclave's pathway. So, and that was the pathway I've been using all season to justify my choice. So we'll talk about it in a little bit. But yes, original song. Back to Carlos Sofia Gascon. Let's talk about Amelia Perez. Is it winning original song? Is it El Mal or Mi Camino winning?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with El Mal, just because there's not a clear favorite here, and it's just kind of difficult to pinpoint what would like, because I know Amelia Perez obviously has a lot of haters, but I just don't know what would
I feel like
be
this is
able to
only
beat
going to
these
be the
songs.
only one where I go against the grain. I feel like most of these, it's easy for Critics' Choice.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Compress Repress here. I feel like there's enough love for challengers in a music department to put it over the edge.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I mean it's clear challengers that didn't get into Best Picture here, but it did get quite a few nominations, and it's a pretty beloved movie. And I think the Critics' Choice, that's a organization that's gonna um, honor that film, and especially since it. I mean, I guess voting closed before the Oscars were announced, but still, I think. There's a big possibility that it walks away with something, but I think it's walking away with something else.
I think I might have it in that category. Should we move on to score?
Yeah. In score, I have challengers.
Let's read the nominees.
Oh, sorry. The nominees are The Brutalist, Challengers, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, and The Wild Robot.
I also have challengers. I think it's closer than people are making it out to be. I feel like it's challengers is like up by a good margin on both like awards expert and Gold Derby.
Yeah,
but I do think it's closer. I think the Bruce does have a good shot of taking it out. But I'm going to go challengers. I think challengers is going to win an air for score and song. And yeah. How about you do young actor?
Young actor, okay. For young actor, I am gonna go with. I think it's probably just Isaac Wong, right?
Yeah, I think there's a case you make for Macy Stella.
Yeah,
and My Old Ass. I think she's a strong number 2.
And that movie's pretty liked by the voters who would vote for Critics' Choice, like that kind of online community. It's got a big following.
Yeah. Also, the only other film here to have another nomination because it's also nominated Best Comedy Film. So
yeah.
I
might switch to Maisie. I think I'm
gonna stick with Isaac Wong, but like I do think there's a really strong. I think it's close. I think it's close between Maisie and Isaac.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna stick with Isaac Wong.
Do they usually go with actors?
Last year was Dominic Sessa.
Yeah.
The year before that,
because Isaac Wong is a teenager, right? He's like 14 or something. And Maisie Stella's what, 19?
17? Like I think she was 17 when
she
filmed
wow, I didn't know that.
But she might be a little older
good
now.
Performance. Dang.
I haven't seen it.
I think she just seems like she has a lot of projects coming out. Doesn't she have like a music career too? So
Does she?
I think so.
I'm sorry, I'm not too familiar with her.
I'm not either. I read that when I was like looking through the nominees. I think, I just think out of the two of those, she's the one with the most like promise in terms of having like a bigger career and a fan base and stuff. So I think I'm gonna go with Macy Stella.
Well, I would argue that like you remember when it was Helena Zengel versus Alan Kim that year? Yeah. I would argue Helena Zengel was probably more on the rise, but they still gave it to Alan Kim.
You're right, but like no one really cared about News of the World, and everyone cared about Minari. There was a big discrepancy there. Whereas, like, I think obviously DD is a little more acclaimed than My Old Ass, but I think they're pretty equal. Like I like in terms of like having fan bases. Like I My Old Ass did pretty well this year, and it made some top 10 lists. And
I've heard a lot of people talk about it. Like it's I still haven't seen it, but like a lot of people do like this movie.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd like
it. Might be more widely watched than DD as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. Visual effects. Gladiator 2, Better Man, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Dune, Wicked, The Substance. I think this is easy.
I think this is very easy. It's Dune.
It's Dune.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any chance of a Wicked upset?
No.
Okay.
Do you think so?
No. I did watch Grace Randolph's video on her Critics' Choice, where she does a video every year where she fills out her own ballot because she's a Critics' Choice voter, and she voted for Wicked, and I was like, Lamau.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
I don't know. I thought the visual effects weren't too great in Wicked, personally.
They look really ugly. It looks all
Yeah.
dried out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I really like the practical stuff with Wicked. I thought like the craft was really impressive, but yeah, those visual effects were, um, you know, not great.
Yeah. Hair and makeup. I think this is also easy. But let's read the nominees: Nosferatu, A Different Man, Beetlejuice, Dune, Wicked, and The Substance. What's winning here, Tristan?
The Substance,
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
easy peasy. I think it's even easier here than it would be at the Oscars, even though I think it's sweeping at this point. But
Mm-hmm.
this is just, I mean, it's the element that everyone's been talking about from this
Yeah.
movie in terms of crafts. Uh, just super impressive makeup, and the fact body horror in general, just it's so reliant on prosthetics and makeup, and the fact that this is a Best Picture player and it's in so many other categories, it makes it the easy front runner here.
Yeah. Costume design. I think this is easy as well.
Yeah.
Dune, Wicked, Gladiator, Nosferatu, Maria, and Conclave. Wicked.
Yeah, I'd also go with the Wicked here. Just I think this is your classic crafts sweeper. I'd say.
Any chance of a Nosferatu upset?
Probably not. I don't think so.
Yeah.
What do you
I
think?
would put that at 2, but I don't think so either.
Yeah, I'd put it over Dune at this point, but I don't think anything's close to Wicked. I think that's
Yeah.
a runaway.
Production design. Wicked, Dune, The Brutalist, Nosferatu, Gladiator 2, Conclave. I think it's Wicked, but I do think Dune could take it as well.
Yeah, I think this is definitely closer than costumes. I think the costumes in Wicked are just so iconic and detailed, and they uh, pay homage to the show, but also do something.
I'd also
Really,
argue that Emerald City, in like terms of production design, is also pretty iconic.
yeah, you're right.
So
Yeah,
I would say
I think
production design should be full good.
it probably will just be Wicked. I mean, the Dune
Mm-hmm.
production design is really impressive too, but yeah, you're right. The Emerald City is pretty iconic, and like there's been behind the scenes videos of them seeing the Yellow Brick Road for the first time, the actors, and
Yeah.
like crying and stuff. So I
Wow.
think that's a big like
You know, the funny
campaign.
thing is, I actually do think Wicked kind of does a production design. Like they planted like all those flowers that are only shown for like 10 seconds in a movie. Like
Yeah,
they planted like 86,000 flowers or something like that,
it's
something
super
crazy like
detailed.
that. And I'm like,
Yeah,
wow, why did you only show up for like a minute?
yeah. They went like super
It's like,
overboard with costumes and production. It's really impressive.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think editing is kind of a difficult one. Um,
Yes. One of the
but
most
let's
difficult categories.
let's run
Uh,
through it. Nora, The Brutalist, Conclave, Dune, Challengers, and September 5.
so
Um,
I actually take that back. I don't think it's that difficult. I think it is
I
at
think
the
it's difficult,
Oscars.
but I am choosing Challengers. But I do think it's
Yeah,
difficult. I think you're choosing Challengers as well. But
I
I
am.
do think it's tight. It's tight. It's
I
tight. It's tight. I can't believe you're not admitting it.
Yeah, no, it is. But what's really funny is it's tight between the two movies that are not nominated, or two of the movies that are not nominated for best editing at the Oscars.
Oh no. Dune is not what I was talking about. I think the Brutalist could take it here. I
Oh,
think
I
that's
don't
number 2.
really. Do you think that's going to win at the Oscars? Is that your?
Absolutely not. No. I think
Yeah,
Chris might go for it though.
I would say Honora before the Brutalist. Honora's got that like
Ooh,
real kind of scrappiness to its editing.
I disagree. Um, I
I
think
mean,
it's Challengers versus the Brutalist, and I think the Challengers will take it. And
I
I
think
think it's
it's
ahead by a margin, but
I think it's Challengers versus Honora versus Dune. I
hmm,
don't have the Brutalist in there.
interesting.
Not for editing.
Yeah, I think it could take it here. Don't be surprised.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that. I mean, it's my,
It's great editing,
yeah,
but yeah, I think it's Challengers. Don't worry.
yeah. I think Challengers is just so like stylized with its editing. It's kind of hard not to go for that.
Hmm.
Um,
Cine-
cinematography.
yeah, cinematography: Wicked, Conclave, Nickel Boys, Nosferatu, Dune, The Brutalist.
Um,
I have The Brutalist.
I also have the Brutalist. I wonder if this could be a little tighter because Dune has pretty incredible cinematography. I think that the Critics' Choice are going to be kinder to that movie than the Oscars were. Also, Nickel Boys is so inventive, and that's a critics thing. But I would say The Brutalist is probably out front right now, and that's my prediction.
Yeah. I don't think Dune is number 2. I think Nosferatu is, but
Interesting.
Brutalist
Yeah,
number 1 for
that's
sure.
in the mix too, I would say.
Yeah. Animated film. Wallace and Gromit, Memoir of a Snail, Inside Out 2, Flo, The Wild Robot.
This is interesting. This is actually a tight race, but here I would say personally The Wild Robot. What are you going with?
I don't think it's tight. I think I've remained the whole way. This is how the season's gonna go. Wild Robot will take CCA, PGA, and Ace. Flo will take BAFTA, and Globe. It's the Wild Robot. They're not gonna give it to Flo. These people haven't even watched Flo. Flo who?
Yeah. I think it's more popular than I would have expected.
Yeah, I know it could win. I'm over exaggerating, but
yeah.
I
mean, they did a Criterion Closet video with the cat.
Did they?
Like a giant blow up version of that cat.
Oh, that's
they're cute. Doing it. I saw the post on Instagram.
I'll need to watch that.
Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna work. It's just a balloon of a cat.
Yeah. What do you think he's gonna choose? Sallow in 120 Days of Sodom?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
That cat seems like
other cat's alley. Yeah, he loves the Dario Argento stuff.
Yeah.
Foreign language film. Emilia Perez is taking this. I'm still here. Could do it. All we can imagine is Light Baby Flow, but it's Emilia Perez.
Yeah, I think Emilia Perez just takes this. Although I don't know if I'd say that at the Oscars.
No, I think there's actually a world where I'm Still Here wins.
Yeah.
International actress.
I think so too.
But yeah, we'll talk about that in a later date.
Yeah, I kind of want to see that world. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I think I see.
Neither have I. Yeah, I'm seeing it either Thursday or the following Thursday.
Nice.
Which one would it be a better double feature with? Dogman this Thursday, or Captain America: Brave New World next Thursday?
I think Dogman is just a funnier one, and you get to see it sooner. So,
yeah. Okay. Adapted screenplay. Sing Sing, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Wicked, Nickel Boys, Emilia Perez. We know what it is. We know what it is. It's Conclave. It's sweeping. It's Conclave.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say the same about original screenplay as well.
Yes, sir. Honora. I do think there's a small, very, very small, like less than 1% chance the Substance takes it.
I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
You going on the Substance train is so wild to me.
What do you mean? No, I think Critics' Choice might go out for it. My personal opinion is, well, first of all, I like the Substance. I'm a Substance fan, but my personal opinions on the Substance should not affect how I predict.
That is true.
It's all isolated, Tristan. It's all isolated.
Yeah.
Supporting actor, easy. Kieran's taking it. It's all him.
Yeah, I don't even think we need to talk about this.
Do you think Guy Pearce is number 2? No. I think we should talk about it. Do you think Guy Pearce or Edward Norton is number 2 at Critics' Choice? I think overall it's Edward Norton, but at Critics' Choice, do you think who's number 2? Is
it Yura? I think it's Yura. Yeah.
I think it's Pearce.
Interesting. It could be Pierce. That's just such an unlikable character, and I know like it's not even like a villain that you love to hate, like J.K. Simmons or something like that.
I thought you were gonna say Strauss from last year, RDJ.
Yeah, that too. Like, well, I don't know if you love Strauss, but like Robert Downey Jr. in that role was just like kind of there was something there.
Very enigmatic, he was very. You got sucked in.
Guy Pearce is just so infuriating that like I could see people just not wanting to vote for that character. Whereas Culkin, like that, there's just so much heart there, and I think people are going to really connect to that character and like want to root for that character more so than Pierce.
Mm-hmm. Supporting actress.
Supporting actress.
Ingenue Ellis Taylor, Daniel Deadweiler, Isabel Rossellini, Margaret Qualley, Ariana Grande, and Zoe Saldana.
This is actually a lot tougher than I think people are really.
We've talked about this one before.
Yeah.
You think it might be a tie?
I do.
Yes.
I do think it's going to be a tie. I think, Saldana probably is in lead pretty much everywhere. In the lead, not in lead like she should be. But I think, I think Ariana does have a real good shot here.
Yeah. I think it's Zoe.
Yeah.
I do think a tie is possible. I do think it's Zoe. I do think a tie is possible in another category, which we'll get to.
It would be cool. I kind of want a tie. Yeah. I'm rooting for it.
It's been a while since we've had a tie in the film categories. The past 2 years, the ties have been in the TV category, so
yeah,
it'd be nice to see it back in the film categories again. Leading actor. Timothée Chalamet. Ray Fiennes. Oh, sorry. You want to say it?
No. You go ahead.
I'll let you say actress.
Sounds
That's
good.
the more fun one. Ray Fiennes, Coleman Domingo, Daniel Craig, Hugh Grant, Adrian Brody. It's Brody.
Yeah, I think this is pretty easy. Do we think Timmy can upset here? Because some people are really starting to think Timmy could win the Oscar. That SAG-BAFTA combo, maybe.
Okay, I think I told you so already. I also have a way how I feel the season's going to go for actor. Brody is going to win Globe and CCA. Timmy will take SAG. Ray Fiennes will take BAFTA. It's going to be 2022 supporting actor split. But Timmy, unlike Jamie Lee Curtis, will not win. It will be Ray Fiennes. He will win, as opposed to Kerry Condon, who lost. And Ray Fiennes will win BAFTA.
I don't know, man.
That's always been the plan. That's always been the plan. It's all a part of God's plan. Conclave picture. Yeah. Ray Fiennes actor. Supporting, adapted screenplay. Should I say supporting?
Wow, you're getting put Rossellini in there.
Rossellini supporting actor.
I think people would like that more than Saldana.
Yeah. At this point, I think with Amelia Perez kind of floundering, I think they would as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I think it's Brody here. I do think the Chalamet upside is not far off, but I wouldn't predict that.
Yeah, I think at Critics' Choice, I don't know. Brutalist is pretty popular. Brody's performance, a lot of people just, agree that it's the best performance, best male performance of the year. Maybe the best performance overall. I think that and Mikey are probably the top two that people say. He'd probably be my performance of the year. I think he's just absolutely incredible in this movie, and it's hard to deny. So I don't see a world how they could go with anyone else.
Okay. Brody, actress. Read it first, Tristan.
All right. This is interesting. This is really interesting. We have Mikey Madison, Demi Moore, Cynthia Erivo, Marianne Jean-Baptiste, Angelina Jolie, and Carla Sofia Gascon.
This is a tie.
Interesting. Yeah, it could. Mikey and Demi?
Yes, Mikey and Demi.
Yeah, actually, I kind of want to go with that too.
But I would favor Demi over Mikey in this scenario. I do think Demi will take it if it's not a
tie. I think Mikey I would favor because of something I'm going to do later on.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay, now I know where you're leaning.
Yeah. And I think it's the only... It's going to be a Carey Mulligan situation where I think Mikey is only going to win Critics' Choice.
Oh, yeah?
I think that... I mean, there's always a possibility that she could still win the Oscar, but I think the Critics' Choice closed at the right time, voting, where I don't think Demi quite hit her surge yet. And I think Honora was still way on top.
I don't know if I agree with that because Critics' Choice voting started on the 3rd, right?
Yeah.
The Golden Globes are on the 5th. So there's 2 days of voting prior to Golden Globes.
Yeah.
And Critics' Choice voting ends on the 10th.
You're right.
So how many people? It depends on how many people submit their ballots because in the first 2 days. Because if you submit your ballots in the first 2 days, I think Mikey is leading by a good margin above them.
Yeah.
Versus how many people submit their ballots in the last 5 days, where I think Demi's leading by a good margin above Mikey. I'm willing to bet that more people wait for Critics' Choice till the end.
Interesting.
That's what I'm willing to think.
I think the critics are eager. I think they're like, oh, right away, let's do
kind of put it
in. Mikey, yeah, I think that's what they did. Yeah. I'm gonna lean Mikey here. I just see her winning something this season, and I think this will be her big award.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and then it'll be a 3-horse race, and that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless Cynthia Erivo pulls something out. But I don't know. Yeah, there are some people who think Cynthia Erivo is going to win the SAG.
Mm-hmm. Really?
I don't see that, but I see a lot of people saying that.
They're wrong.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's crazy, but I mean, it's possible, I guess.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to ensemble because Wicked did very good well at SAG for ensemble in its acting categories. But I don't know if that's going to connect here in the ensemble category here.
They don't often line up, right? The two?
No. But so if you look in the expanded era, they actually almost never line up. But of the past 4 years, like in the 2020s, it's been 50% because Trial of Chicago 7 won both.
Yeah.
And last year Oppenheimer won both. So it's been like a 50-50 shot if you're talking about just the 2020s. But if you're talking about the whole expanded era, almost never.
Yeah.
It'd be like 3 times where you lined up.
I think I'm going to go Wicked still. Well, I mean, I don't have Wicked for SAG, but
wait, do you have Amelia Perez?
No.
Conclave?
No.
You're not predicting it completely, no.
No.
But you're predicting Nora?
Yeah.
That's that. Oh my gosh. Oh, we're gonna have a talk about this later on.
I think I'm gonna do it. I'm not 100% sure yet, but once we get to SAG, we'll see. I think I'm gonna go with Nora.
Yeah. But I'm predicting Conclave here. And I'm predicting Wicked at SAG right now. If Wicked wins here, I might actually switch to Conclave at SAG. But I'm predicting Conclave right now for Critics' here.
I think Conclave has a better chance winning this than SAG.
I think so too, because like I was also like looking at the nominees the winners at Critics' Choice for ensemble. They don't normally go for like the fancy stuff. Like they never went for Black Panther the year that SAG went for Black Panther, you know?
Yeah.
They like more grounded films. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Conclave.
Nice. Yeah, I'll go with Wicked on this one.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna win something big.
Director,
we've got Brady Corbet for The Brutalist, Sean Baker for Anora, Coralie Farjat for The Substance, Edward Berger for Conclave, and Denis Villeneuve for Dune Part 2. Oh, wait. Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez. Almost forgot him.
Ramel Ross.
Wait, Ramel Ross is nominated too?
Yeah.
And John M. Chu. There's 8. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Good on the Critics' Choice for getting Ramel Ross in there. That's an awesome nomination.
They had to expand it so far out to get him in to make it 8. It's Corbet. Yeah,
I would say Corbet is kind of just sweeping director. He's going to win everything. There are people who think Audiard has a chance at DGA, but I don't see it. I think Corbet sweeps the season.
Audiard has a chance at DGA.
Well, because it's the only way, really, that Amelia Perez winning makes any sense. It's not going to win screenplay, and
it's director to pathway, but I don't think winning DGA is the only way, like the only pathway to get director.
You're right. Yeah, could win.
I was thinking my whole pathway for Amelia Perez was that if Amelia Perez is winning, it's going to win picture and director at BAFTA.
Yeah,
and then it would win director at the Oscars.
Yeah.
I always thought Corbett was going to take DGA in a cakewalk.
I think so too.
BAFTA is what I'm worried about. In fact, we'll talk about BAFTA later on. Well, not to this episode, but in a few episodes from now.
Yeah.
But The Brutalist is 110% not winning BAFTA. It is really high up on like odds. It's not winning BAFTA. No shot. You know, the last time that they gave it to an American-made film, an American director for Best Picture was La La Land in 2016. And the other two alternatives, Manchester by the Sea by Kenneth Logren and Moonlight by Barry Jenkins, are all by American directors. If there is a European alternative, they'll always go with it.
Yeah.
So, considering that Amelia Perez and Conclave are both in the mix, I'm not predicting The Brutalist for BAFTA at all. I don't know why everyone's predicting it for BAFTA.
Because it has a slightly European flair to it. It's more ambitious than a lot of American films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I already. Hold on 1 second. Give me a second.
Sounds good.
I'm back.
Cool.
Yeah, and Best Picture.
Best Picture, I'm going to go with Anora.
Anora?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with The Brutalist.
Nice.
I feel... I don't know what my thought process on it is. It's tight. It's close, right? It's so close.
It is. And I do think these are going to be the top two at the end. I know you think Conclave is winning. I think it is at the end of the day. We had some distractions with the Amelia Perez and the Conclave stuff, but I think at the end of the day, it's always been Anora versus The Brutalist, and it'll end up being that at the end.
Anora versus The Brutalist.
I think Anora
like at the
takes
Oscars.
this. Yeah, I think Anora takes this in SAG, and then it gets itself back into the competition.
Okay.
I think Amelia Perez takes BAFTA, or maybe Conclave, one of the two.
Yeah.
And it'll throw some chaos.
Dude, I don't know if Anora's taking SAG. I don't know where this Anora taking SAG is coming from.
I'm going crazy.
Dude, you're insane. Anora taking SAG.
It probably won't. It's probably going to go to Wicked, and then everyone's going to...
I mean, the thing is, you're making it into SAG as like someone who's not like really famous in the US.
Yeah.
That's like a big deal.
Exactly.
That's like something that's like kind of giving me hope that you're right about that.
The reason I think that too is it kind of reminds me of when Coda won. A lot of people weren't predicting that. And I think people like to, in SAG especially, they like to root for they like a cast they can like root for. Anora has a lot of like unknown, like actors who were previously unknown that are like really, working the circuit right now. There's a lot of love for Mikey Madison. There's a lot of love for Yura, but also the other cast members. And I think just more than any of the other casts, they're just like it's very likable all around, and it feels like awarding that cast is kind of like giving some of those actors like bigger opportunities. And I felt that way with some of the other winners that they've picked recently too.
Yeah.
Parasite, that was
but I feel like Coda maybe feels like kind of conclavey, like a cast that everyone loves. But how much of the love for Nora is like directly concentrated on Mikey Madison?
No, I think it's the whole cast. And I think Conclave is like previously known. Like Conclave would be more toward like an Oppenheimer because it's, a big kind of not a historical piece, but like a costume drama. And it's got like very famous actors in it. Whereas Coda had like, Marlee Matlin, obviously an Oscar winner, but outside of that, no like major A-listers. It was mostly new talent. And Anora, it's the same kind of thing. Even Everything Everywhere, like obviously everyone knows who Michelle Yeoh and Jamie Lee Curtis, but it kind of felt like these are actors where if you give them the SAG win, it means something, because Ke Huy Quan, previously he hadn't had any movies for a long time. Michelle Yeoh, this was kind of her big moment. It just feels good to root for, like, Honora feels like the underdog here, but in a way where I think it's going to end up coming away with the victory, just because, like, there's kind of like I want to root for that cast mentality when it comes to
Yeah,
Honora.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.